Elections in April, on 9th of April. There are 5 other counties that did theirs earlier, up to the county level. So basically by next month we will have concluded this very ambitious but important party exercise. We believe as UDA that the party is stronger if it is strong at the grassroots. When the people who speak on behalf of the party at the local level, at the grassroots, are elected by party members, then you have a strong party. So we are going to continue with this exercise, and eventually we will have more than 500,000 grassroots party officials, and arrangements will be made to ensure that our party leader and the national party office has a face-to-face engagement with all those who will be elected from the grassroots across the country. The over 500,000 that will succeed will have a face-to-face engagement with the party leadership to ensure that we are all in sync and we have information symmetry, so that when someone speaks on behalf of the party at a polling center, one, they have legitimacy, and number two, they have information on the party doctrines, manifesto, and they can speak on behalf of the party authoritatively. So we are not just trying to legitimize the party officials through elections. There will be a second phase of empowering party officials at the grassroots to speak on behalf of the party authoritatively about the manifesto, the scorecard of the government, where we made progress, where we are making progress. That way, the UDA party will be a strong party, as we have always aspired to be, and no other party has tried the kind of exercise we are rolling out across the country. No other party has tried it. The sheer logistics and the strain on the institutional capabilities is quite momentous, but we are up to the task, and we are doing everything possible to make sure that we succeed. So this morning, in those 18 counties, some of them, the elections have been held earlier, but there were gaps. We felt that we needed to repeat in those areas, because in some of the areas where we thought that we needed more aspirants, some of the people who did not register cited various reasons. Some of them, the information had not reached them by the time of the deadline. Others told us they didn't have the 200 shillings for registration. And therefore we decided to waive those fees to make sure that as many grassroots party members as possible who aspire to be leaders of this party at their polling station level can be able to participate. That's why we are repeating to fill gaps where we felt the elections were not competitive enough because of the choice of candidates. It was not wide enough, mainly because either of information gaps or because of the fees that have been imposed as registration fees. Just to mention, before I give the reports, the progress report of the day, that once we finish on the 9th of April, polling center elections, we will do ward elections, ward level elections in all the 1,450 wards. Again, they will be competitive. The 20 officials that will be elected at the polling station will become delegates to the ward elections. And there also we'll have aspirants, and it's going to be competitive because the party has decided for the ward elections, those who aspire to lead the party at the ward level will be given a chance to address the delegates before the voting starts, so that they can be able to, the delegates can assess the knowledge of these people on the party, the manifesto, and so forth, so that you don't have people just representing the party whose doctrine they do not understand. So we'll go like that, and then to the constituency level, then to the county level. These elections will culminate in the holding of a National Delegates Congress in Nairobi to now elect the national officials. So it's a very lengthy, laborious, but a very important process that will begin. Having said so, voting began early today, quite well in many parts of the country. Initially, we had reports of a few delays here and there in terms of polling centers opening hours, the availability of gadgets. We had 1 or 2 cases where the gadgets were delayed, or the method used to distribute the gadgets was a bit slow, so we had to deploy faster methods of assessing the polling stations or the polling centers in the shortest time possible. Instead of using vehicles, we use motorbike rides. And so we have corrected, we've mitigated any delays that ought to have, that may have occurred in a few places across the country. And where such delays have been documented, we'll extend the voting time to compensate for the time lost in the morning, so there is no cause of alarm. We also had a few areas which had transport problems because of the ongoing rains. The roads were not very passable, and we have used various ways to mitigate those kind of concerns. Number 3, we had a few areas where we had missing some of the candidates. Their names were missing from the database because of maybe the data submitted was missing certain details and so forth and so on. The party has decided for such cases, and I think there are 1 or 2 places already where a decision has been made, where we have technology challenges of voting digitally or electronically, we will use the manual register. And those are 1 or 2 places where, in consultation with our party members there were challenges, and it is decided rather than postponing, we will do manual register as a backup last resort method, which is what also the IBC does when the digital register has gaps. But those are again 1 or 2 places across the country. And therefore, this election is proceeding well. I also want to report that the turnout of the voters is commendable, given that in some parts the weather is not very friendly. We are expecting the last 3 hours or so this afternoon, we will have more people voting. We are very confident that we'll have a fair turnout of voters. Other than that, one of the standout factors of this ongoing exercise is the use of technology. Very fast technology, and it takes a few seconds to vote. It doesn't take long. It's very user-friendly, very efficient, seamless, and the method of relaying results is even faster than even what the IBC system uses. We are going to get results within minutes, and these are electronically submitted results, and there is no intermediary in between. There are no physical forms and all the things that needs to be verified. It's all electronic. So within less than half an hour, maybe an hour at most after the voting closes, we'll be having results from across all the 18 counties. Let me note at this point, Unfortunately, at some point during this morning, one of our returning officers got a health challenge, and we lost her. And we want to send our sympathies to the family of our RO for Kamaro Polling Center, Ukomo Ward in Tigania West, Meru County, who collapsed while on duty. And according to the preliminary reports that are coming from the medical people, she got an asthma attack because of the weather, and she lost her life. We want to send our sympathies as a party, and we will support the family because that particular arrow has lost their life when serving our party in this exercise. Other than that sad incident, I think the rest is fairly smooth. And this is a good point for me to report that up to now, we have not recorded any incidents of violence because our party believes in democracy. We have zero tolerance on violence, and we have made it very clear to all the candidates participating and their supporters that anyone who tries to use violent behavior to push forward their interest in this election will receive extremely punitive repercussions from the UDA party. Because we believe democracy is about persuasion